Oh man, what is going on, everybody? I am Seth Floyd Hansen. You are live with the Seth Floyd Show, little Wednesday night hangout, week 5 preview. I did a lot better. I did a lot better this week than I've done in previous weeks. Uh, Thankfully, I needed it because I was just hovering above 500 in my overall picks for the entire season so far. Um, that is, yeah. So it's good. It's good. I got a little above 500, which is what I needed. Okay, I went 11-5 this week. We'll pull that up here in a little bit. But it's what I needed because I was hanging around. I was hanging around right at that 500 mark, and it's making me feel bad. But part of this because the NFL has been so crazy. These first 4 weeks have been just insane. Nobody has any idea what's going on. Nobody is doing what they're supposed to. Okay, you've got the Vikings are just the best team in the NFL. You've got the Bengals who are 1-3. Okay, after I look like a moron, I predicted them to go to the top. I predicted them to be the 1 seed, Burrow to win MVP. I picked them to win the Super Bowl. So I look like a dummy. So I needed to redeem myself a little bit. That was what I was needing to happen. Oh man, I know I do this every week. Oh, you can't see it there. Can't see it there. Let me twist it. Guys, Mountain Dew Baja Blast Zero is fantastic. Buy it at Walmart. It's very good. Free advertising, I guess. Free advertising, I guess. Oh man, I messaged you. I missed the first minute. What did you message me? Shacknums. What did you message me? Sorry. I know I started a little early. My usually like my kids, I start putting them to bed anywhere from just like 7:30 is probably the average is when we like to lay down in bed, and it's kind of hit or miss like how long it takes. So I'm always scared I'm not going to make that 8 o'clock because I always try to come on at 8 my time. Well, shoot, I got them in bed by like 8:15, or excuse me, 7:15, and then and then sorry, I got like bugs too in my garage, and then all of a sudden they were asleep. It was 7:45, or excuse me, it was like 7:30, and they were asleep. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna get on a little early, so I get done a little earlier. Oh yeah, yep, 7:45. So anyway, if you're a few minutes late, I told my mom that was going on at 8 because she wants to watch me, and then I forgot to text her. So sorry, mom. You'll hop on here eventually. You know, it's good. It's a good state of your YouTube channel when you're begging your mom to come watch you on your live episodes. Freaking awesome. I'm just kidding. She really wanted to watch it, and I just have fun. But going live is fun. Going live is like the funnest thing. If this was my full time job, I'd be one of those dudes. Like I would only go live because it's fun. Um, but I like making videos too. I like when Josh edits the videos, and that makes it cool. I'm not sure if Josh or Scott will be on tonight. It might just be me and Shaq Nums and anybody watching after the fact. But we'll see. So Shaq Nums, you're coming here late. I was just going over. 11-5. Went 11-5 this week. I guess we could just share that now. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the NFL, though, as I have mentioned before. The NFL is bananas right now. Absolute bananas. So that's what we're looking at. Those were my picks, courtesy of Shaq Nums. Keeping track. I appreciate him just kind of taking that initiative, keeping track of it all. That makes my life a little easier, and it's always appreciated. So let's go through real quick ones I got, ones I missed, and then we'll hit on a few of the topics before we get into this week 5 preview, which I have titled question mark, was with a question mark. Is this the Chiefs' downfall? Beginning of the Chiefs' downfall, that Rashee Rice injury that somehow it looks like he's avoided an ACL tear, which I don't mean to say like I wanted him to have an ACL tear because I don't. I've torn an ACL. It's no fun, but like that's the most Chiefs thing ever to be lucky, like in that sense. So it is what it is. We'll hit on some of that here in a little bit. Okay, here's what I had. I had the Cowboys over the Giants. Whoa, that game was closer than it should have been. It was on the road, and it was a Thursday night game. But man, you only win by 5. It looked like they were going to run away with it for a minute, and then only win by 5. Shaq Nums coming up big. His Broncos, the Jets. Man, can we talk about the Jets real quick? You're the man, Shaq Nums. the Jets are they the most poorly coached team in the NFL? How is it you have Garrett Wilson, okay, you have Mike Williams, okay, who's not always healthy or whatever, but like a very solid receiver. Alan Lazard and Aaron Rodgers are very good. You've got Brees Hall and you've got Braylon Allen. Okay. You have, yes, it's still like a patchwork offensive line, but you have all those weapons and you can't score a touchdown. Are they are they worse? Are they the worst coach team in the NFL? I at least offensively, it feels like it. Offensively, Nathaniel Hackett might be the worst offensive coordinator I've ever seen. Like what the uh only success he's ever had his Rodgers peak years when he had Devontae Adams and Rodgers and Adams would just kind of play backyard football and Rodgers would do whatever he wants. Like he is killing a team. When Brees Hall, let's look real quick. I know I've got the other ones up. Let's look real quick. Brees Hall stats from that game, and then Shaq Nums, I'm going to answer your question. Oh gosh, I'm on the wrong week. Hold on. Uno momento, por favor. Did I say that right? Not a Spanish guy. All right, let's look at this box score. You have Braylon Allen here. Let me just do this. I'll come back to it. It's just us right now. Oh, Josh is here. Perfect. What up, Josh? Hold on. Let me switch this, and we'll look at this because I think this is important to emphasize my point. Okay. Can you guys see that? Perfect. Okay. We have here. I'll switch down to the Boop. Sorry. There we go, guys. Here we go. All right. You have all these weapons on offense. You had, Aaron Rodgers, 24 for 42. Okay, barely over 50%, 225 yards. If you're completing, that's 5.54 yards as attempt. You're completing 24 passes and you only have 225 yards. Like that's not a good day. Anytime you got to throw it 42 times, that's not a good day. Guys, Brees Hall was supposed to be like, people were taking him the number one pick in fantasy drafts. Like he was supposed to take that mantle. He had 10 carries for 4 yards. His longest carry was for 3 yards, which means he had 9 other carries where he accumulated 1 total yard. Now he probably had more than that, but like lost yards and gained it back, whatever. The point is I refuse to believe that is a Brees Hall thing. That is a Nathaniel Hackett thing. He is so bad. And there were stories, if you guys remember, there were stories before the season that they were trying to quietly dismiss Nathaniel Hackett and replace him and maybe give him like another role, like a consulting role or something, and it just didn't work. Just absurd. Just absurd. That's a good point. Hackett didn't even call plays, but like Rodgers has like this tight-knit bond for Hackett for some reason. He like loves Hackett. So Hackett must have done something, but whatever. Yeah, dude, don't hang out with dad over me. Are you kidding me? You think that's more important? It's crazy. What are we doing over at dad's? It's a Wednesday night. Crazy, man. Crazy. You should have just hopped on over there with dad. Except for dad probably would have hijacked the show. All they want to talk is the 49ers, which respect. Throwing 45 passes in a downpour the whole game is crazy, planning by Hackett. No, he doesn't know something. We know everything, and Hackett knows nothing. I'm convinced, okay? I'm convinced that I could call a better game than Hackett, okay? I've called a little Texas JV football, okay? But I called some Arizona JV football, okay? I feel like I could do a better job than Hackett. Just crazy, man. Scott, you know the answer to this. Isn't it your daughter's birthday? Look at that. Respect. Hanging out on the channel on your daughter's birthday. Probably what she expected anyway. She's only a year old, though, so it's okay. Oh, you're giving him his birthday. What'd you get him for his birthday, dude? What'd you give him? Dude, you're a better son than me. I have just been shooting dad texts on birthdays. Part of it is I don't live there anymore, so I can't like show up at his house. I'd have to like pay for shipping. And anyway, you're for sure the favorite son. I also think this is true. I feel like Rodgers just bosses around Hackett, and it's really Rodgers calling the plays. 100%. He likes Hackett because Hackett lets him do whatever he wants. Just lets him do whatever he wants. That's why he likes Hackett. Electric screwdriver. Heck yeah, dude. Whatever. You usually get him like a polo or something. So anyway, Shaq Nums, the question now is thrown to you. How do you feel about the Broncos? You are 2-2. You are 2-2. That game had to feel fluky. I want to know, what is your confidence? Do you feel any more optimistic going forward? I mean, the guy missed the field goal at the end, so it should easily, you could be 1-3 right now. But hey, you held strong. The defense held up against Nathaniel Hackett. I agree with this. I think you have a very good defense. I think Vance Joseph's doing a good job. I'm disappointed still. We haven't seen more from Nix. I don't know if I'm more disappointed in Nix or if I'm more disappointed in what's his face, Sean Payton. But dude, 60 passing yards. I guess it was raining, so like we can keep giving him some excuses. It's only his fourth start. So he's won 2 in a row now, which is incredible. So jury's still out, but I expect Sean Payton to do more. I expect him to do more. He doesn't have to be on the Jaden Daniels. I like lost train of thought. Jaden Daniels like level yet, but man, we need to see a little more from Nix. And then lastly, for New York, guys, Garrett Wilson, 5 catches for 41 yards. Like I have ridden the Garrett Wilson hype train for 3 years because he's been on my dynasty team for the last 3 years since I've drafted him. And how is it that this year he's been the most disappointing he's been? Probably because my expectations were higher because Rodgers was healthy. Holy crap, man. That is disappointing. Very disappointing. Anyway, so all that to say this, Nathaniel Hackett is the worst offensive coach in the league. Needs to be fired. Saleh needs to fire Nathaniel Hackett. And it might cause problems with, maybe they don't feel like they have anyone on staff. Rodgers probably wouldn't like it, but I don't know, man. I have no clue. Yeah. Well, part of it is like in the first game against the 49ers, like their first real drive, they like Garrett Wilson caught like 5 passes. 2 of them were on 3rd down, and they went down and like kicked a field goal. Excuse me. Sorry, I coughed in the mic. So I was like, oh man, here it is. Like I was like, this is going to be awesome. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 1, upside potential. Holy crap. Nothing the rest of the game and been nothing since. Like absolutely nothing. It's so disappointing. Hasn't gotten in the end zone yet. So we missed a field goal under 2 minutes. Oh, I didn't know that. I think I would rather watch Little League full of blankets than offense. That is not a glowing endorsement for Sean Payton. I'm sorry, man. What is your what? At what point is Sean Payton on the hot seat, Shaq Nums? Like he's not on the hot seat. But at what point are like Denver fans? He's not really on the hot seat, but at what point are Denver fans ready to call it quits with Sean Payton? Josh, I agree. Saleh is gone, dude. He's gone. I hope he's gone. I would not hate to have Saleh come back and be DC. I don't want to give up on Nick Sorensen yet. I think because Saleh went through this. Even D'Amico had some bad games when he was younger. So I was like, I have hope that Sorensen can get it figured out. But man, I'd love to bring Saleh in and whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go back. Let's see some of these other games that I picked. Here we go. Back to Shaq Nums taking notes on his phone. Here we go. All right, Vikings over Packers. That's the one I feel the best about. I was like, I don't care if Jordan Love plays. Vikings are winning this game. I did a video. If you haven't watched it, if you're a Vikings fan watching this, go check out my video I posted earlier this week. Vikings are the best team in the NFL. All phases of the game. They have the best, except for Andy Reid, Spagnuolo, they have the best offensive play caller, defensive play caller tandem in the league. So Vikings are going far. I think they're the best team in the league right now. Doesn't mean they will be all year. Doesn't mean they'll win the Super Bowl. But right now, after 4 weeks, like I don't know how you could think otherwise. I had the Steelers over the Colts. Missed that. Colts somehow. Are the Colts better with Joe Flacco? Are they better with Joe Flacco? I know Anthony Richardson has these crazy highlight throws sometimes, but Flacco's no slouch, man. He showed it last year. Anyway, that's a big win for the Colts. They needed it. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I'll go a little quicker. Bucks over the Eagles. Shaq Nums, come back to your question. Let's see if I can find it. You asked me. who's a worse coach, Saleh or Sirianni? I think it's Sirianni. Wow, I think it's Sirianni because Sirianni has a good roster. No excuse losing 6 out of 7 last year, and now they've lost. What have they lost? Oh gosh, I'm blanking. 2-2, 7 out of 9, whatever over their last. Is that right? 8 out of 10. Anyway, it's got to be Sirianni. It's got to be Sirianni. Can't get along with his quarterback. And I was told by everybody that bringing in Kellen Moore was going to fix it. That relationship, bringing in Vic Fangio was going to fix the defense because Miami had an all-time great defense last year. And that everything with Sirianni got smoothed over. Well, it certainly doesn't feel like it. Now, to be fair, they didn't have A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. But when you only give Saquon Barkley 10 carries in the game, when you only give Saquon a touch right out of halftime, he goes for 53 yards, and then he only carries it one more time the rest of the game. I understand Kellen Moore's calling the plays. By the way, with each passing week, I'm more and more down on Kellen Moore. But Sirianni, you don't do anything. You don't call plays. You're a bad culture guy. The least you could do is say, hey, man, get in the headset, get in Kellen Moore's ear, and say, look, we don't have Devontae Smith. We do not have A.J. Brown. How about we just ride Saquon because he's our best hope? Got problems over there. Got problems. They got to bye this week. I don't think he's getting fired. The best thing for Sirianni was that they had an early bye week because if this bye week was 3 weeks later, he might be gone. So I think it's Sirianni. At least Saleh is like a likable guy, but both are bad. Both are not good. Saleh has had the worst luck with injuries, quarterback stuff. But Saleh is not doing himself any favors. Okay. Bengals over Panthers, called it. Great. Rams over Bears. Man, I'm happy the Rams lost. But that just like, golly, 49ers, how did you lose to that Rams team? How did you lose to that Rams team when the Bears beat them? Just tough. Texans over Jags. That was a close one. Thought the Texans were going to lose. Jags, man. Doug Peterson, he's my lock. First coach fired. Terrible. You've lost 9 straight regular season games. Inexcusable. Falcons beat the Saints. Called that. Doesn't feel like the Saints have come back down to earth. I called it. I knew it. It's like, man, they look so good. They're going to be NFC contenders. And at the end of the day, they're still Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, and they're superhuman. They're not superhuman. They are extremely average, extremely human. That's what I'm trying to say. I still think, oh, yikes, all over the place. I still think they're going to like win. They could still get into the playoffs. Sorry, guys. I'm like screwing up all over the place. Anyway, I got to be quicker because I got to get into this. Texans over Jags. Niners over Pats. Shouldn't have been, not close. They dominated most of the game. The score didn't even really reflect it. A couple of that dumb fumble out of halftime kind of kept the game closer than it should have been, but whatever. Cardinals over Commanders. Man, was that a whiff. Commanders look good. They look very good. The Commanders look good enough to win the NFC East. Don't know if they will, but they'll be there at the end of the year. I don't know if their defense is good enough to like take them very far, but anyway, I mean, I believe the Jaden Daniels hype. It's more their defense. Like, I don't know if I trust it. Also, Cliff Kingsbury, I said this before, notorious for being great in the first half of the season, and then teams adjust. They'll come back down to earth. They're not going to score 40 every game, man. But yeah. They look good, and the NFC East doesn't look good, so they're definitely in the mix to win the NFC East. I'm just looking. We're going back to the Broncos really quick. He won't be. I know he's not going to be fired. You said, I'd love to go get Mike McDaniels and get that Shanahan office in the building. Ben Johnson wants to throw a bag at him. I mean, Ben Johnson has to be your target. I'm like down on Mike McDaniels as a head coach, just given what's going on in Miami. They've never won a big game. They've won a lot of meaningless games that have gotten them into the playoffs, but they've never really sealed the deal on anything big. So if I were you, Ben Johnson's the move. And maybe Denver is always a hot ticket. Like, people want to coach in Denver. That's always like one of the most desired spots because location. They want to live in Colorado. Don't blame them. So anyway, that could be a real thing. Who knows why Ben Johnson keeps turning down head jobs, but who knows? I think it's going to be Bill Belichick in Philly next year. That's my guess. Saleh has 10 kids. Great point. Don't want to overlook that. Saleh has 10 kids. It's unbelievable. The dude needs a nap. Okay, he needs a nap more than anything. And this is a terrifying stat. Goff has more receiving TDs than Kelsey, Laporta, Ayuk, Waddle, Mark Andrews combined. It's my GOAT. I would never call Goff my GOAT, but that is an important stat. Thank you for bringing that to the attention of the staff. Here we go. Almost. Golly, why is it so sensitive? There we go. Quick. I'm trying to go quick. Chiefs over Chargers. Man, what did I tell you? Every Chiefs game will come down to the final possession. That's how it's always been. Like in the last 2 seasons, at least I should say. Okay, they don't blow any teams out. It will keep they will keep it close, and they will find a way to win, which is an incredible ability that they have. They just find ways to win. They know how to win. They know how to make it happen. But to give them huge spreads doesn't feel right either, because every game is a one-score game. Raiders over Browns. Congrats, Raiders. You're about to trade Devontae Adams. Weird stuff going over there. Huge L. Bills over Ravens. Man, the Ravens dismantled the Bills. Looks like the Ravens have got their swag back. I'm not out on the Bills by any means, but the Ravens look much better than I thought. Titans over Dolphins. Worst NFL game I've ever seen. John Middlecoff started his 3 and Out podcast the other day after reviewing Monday night games. With his question was, would you rather watch the Titans and Dolphins playing a football game, or would you rather swim with crocodiles and great white sharks? And that's exactly, like, it's perfect. That's exactly the scenario, because it's tempting. It's more exciting to swim with sharks. Lions over Seahawks. Man, that was a crazy game. Seahawks look a lot better on offense than I thought. Defensively, they couldn't stop anything. They had some guys out. Seahawks are a classic team that plays to the level of their opponent. They play up or they play down, depending on whoever they're playing. But yeah, glad to see the Seahawks lose. So overall, I was 11-5 in week 4. My all-time record, I'm 36-28, 562 percentage over 500. That is important, people. It is important. Let's get to a couple of these, and then I'll hop on to preview this coming week, guys. My question for you is, where? Golly, I lost my. Oh, what's going to happen to the Chiefs? I titled this "Downfall of the Chiefs." Chiefs downfall. What is going to happen? Rashee Rice, is it going to miss some time? Sounds like he avoided the ACL tear, but what is going to happen with them? Are they going to flame out? They have no receivers. They don't have a running back. They have Xavier Worthy. Great. He's very electric, very fast. He's still a rookie. He's not like a dude you can just depend on. Okay, so what do you guys think? Is it safe to say? I would disagree with this. Is it safe to say the Lions easily won that trade? And you're talking about Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. I disagree. Disagree hardcore. Yes, the Lions are more set up long term. Doesn't matter. You take the Super Bowl. You take the Super Bowl. Now, if the Lions, as of right now, as of October 2nd, 2024, if the Lions go on to win the Super Bowl with Jared Goff this year or even next year, then yeah, I could be talked into, yeah, they won the trade. It was better for them because they're going to be relevant longer. They've been able to build their team like over the long haul. The Lions are not going anywhere. But until that point, no. The answer is no. The Rams won that trade because they won a Super Bowl. Immediately won a Super Bowl. And they made the playoffs last year. Like, Sean McVay is such a good coach. Scott and I were talking at work today. Like, would we rather, what 1-3 team, like, do you think could potentially still make the playoffs? And for me, it's the Rams. I just can't ever count them out. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, if they can tread water here for another week or two until Puka and Cooper Kupp get back, then yeah. Josh's response, they're just going to find a way to still win. It's so obnoxious. I think I have felt like, so before the year, I thought, oh, this is going to be the year that they don't win the division. And then the first 4 games go by, and I was like, okay, they're probably going to win like 14 games. Probably going to have a better regular season than they've had. Depending on how long Rashee Rice is out, like, I'm assuming he's going to miss half the year. Like, it was a pretty gruesome knee injury. Maybe it's if it's just a bone bruise, it'll be like 6 weeks. 34-0. They're probably not going to rush him back. I'm just saying, instead of winning 14 games this year, I think they're going to win like 11 again, because they're going to stall on offense a little bit. But it won't matter. They're going to get into the playoffs and all that. Also, let's, on that topic, wouldn't have been, but no Patch or Rice, they get a big, yeah. I'm not even sure what you just said, but Anyway, what Von Miller gets listen, the NFL, come on guys. Come on. You suspended Von Miller 4 games for conduct detrimental to the league. So you didn't even give any type of reason for why he's suspended. You just said he did something to make the league look bad. No one knew what he did, and you're going to suspend him. Everyone knows what Rashee Rice did. It is on film. What are we doing? What legal process needs? He has made the league look bad no matter what the league says. No matter what the justice system says, like he admitted he was wrong. He's made the league look bad driving 120 miles an hour and causing an accident. What could you possibly be waiting for? Conduct detrimental to the league, that makes you look terrible. You should suspend yourselves for making the league look bad by not suspending him. That's my hot take. Listen, I know the Costco guys. I just do not watch them. I know who they are. I've not. They make. I don't use the word cringe a lot, but whenever I watch them, I go oh, and I turn it. I flip through the room. Scott, I don't think he's out for the year. Adam Schefter says it's not as bad as it seems, but the timetable for his return is unclear. It sounds like he avoided the ACL tear. It sounds like the swelling in his knee is too big for them to really make a definitive determination. But it sounds like he's not going to be done for the year, but potentially. But he's going to miss the next. I mean, it feels weird to even say 4 games. Like, I feel like it's at least 6 games. So, whatever. All right, I'm back just in time for the playoffs. Anyway, Davante Adams trade. Where's he going? The Jets? What a waste. What a waste that would be. I understand he'd be going back with Rodgers, but if you're a Jets fan, and if I was a Jets fan, I would want Davante. I'd be like, guys, can we get something going? I just want Hackett to figure out the run game. The reason the offense is sputtering so bad is the run game. But the only place that makes sense to me is the Jets, because that's like where he wants to go. Do you really believe that, Scott? Because, excuse me, that feels like a good call. That to me feels like a good move for the Cowboys. That division is wide open. There's not much you're going to be able to do to improve the run game at this point. I don't know if there's any running backs out there you can trade for. So why not? Why not just send him to Dallas? Have a better number 2, and then if Brandon Cooks is your number 3, like that's a good squad. It's a good CeeDee Lamb, your 1. Put Davante on the other side, and then Brandon Cooks in the slot. Like now you're cooking with gas. Jake Ferguson is no slouch. That sounds good. I don't think they're going to do it. I've seen some stuff that's at first this morning. It sounded like they were in on it, but it sounds like since then they have decided not to be in on him. So who knows? Who knows? But that would be a smarter move. The Jets getting Davante, I just don't think it fixes anything because I don't believe in Hackett. So, yeah. Who can't pay him? Oh, Dallas? Is that what you're saying, Josh? Dallas? Yeah, I mean, it would be a 1-year rental. Now, Davante doesn't have any guaranteed money after this year, so we could work a deal with him, but you got a lot of people to pay. Shaq Numbs is just out for revenge. He hates him. Adams of the Panthers. Yeah, but then that's kind of would the Panthers do that? I don't think so, but they've done some dumb things in the past. They're still doing dumb things. But you never know. You never know. All right, let's get into it. We'll hit some more of these as we kind of go along. Let's go, and we'll go through this week. Brought to you by DraftKings, my only sponsor. Psych. Hit me up, DraftKings. Guys, if any of you can get me a DraftKings sponsorship, I will give you a cut of the show. It'll be a small cut, but I'll give you a cut. Let's keep that in mind if you want to reach out to the representatives. Okay, here we go. Thursday night. Actually, a pretty good Thursday night game. I'm going to miss the first half. Daughter has a soccer game. Starts right when this game starts. But luckily, the 5-year-old soccer games only go for 45 minutes. So I should be able to get back to see the second half. Falcons, Bucks. I'm going Falcons. I think on the road, short week at home is going to give them what they need. The Bucks are good. I think the Broncos beat the Bucks. That's still in my head. I think the Eagles are way worse than people realize. So that win over the Eagles isn't the most impressive thing. It said more about the Eagles than the Bucks. So anyway, I'm taking the Falcons. I think the Falcons are starting to get their groove a little bit. Who knows if they'll win that division, but I'm taking the Falcons. Jets and Vikings. Vikings are 2.5-point favorites. This is in London. Now, I have said the Vikings are the best team in the NFL. I have said I do not believe in Nathaniel Hackett. But if you told me that the Vikings lost this game, it would not surprise me, simply for the fact this is the most hype the Vikings have had. This is the most man, they're coming off such an emotional win after beating Green Bay. Their biggest rival in Green Bay. Actually, Vikings fans, is Green Bay your biggest rival? Feels like it has to be, right? They've run that division forever. So if you told me they come off that high, they go to London, which is weird. Like, that's just a weird week. It's a weird situation to be in, and they just kind of lay a dud. Also, the Jets and Rodgers are pissed off after losing to who did they lose to? The Broncos. Sorry, Shaq Thompson, the Broncos. Like, if you just told me they came out with a vengeance and just played really well, and the Vikings came out a little sluggish, just given all those circumstances, like, I wouldn't be surprised. It also wouldn't change how I feel about the Vikings. That I think they're the best team in the NFL right now. I'd just be like, yeah, that was the most obvious thing that was going to happen. It was a kind of a trap game. That being said, I'm taking the Vikings, and I think they win by at least 3 points. Kevin O'Connell, revenge game when he's playing QB while on Hard Knocks. Oh, I didn't know that. Fun fact, I think I mentioned this in another video, but if you've never watched, Kevin O'Connell was the quarterback at my high school when I was in the 6th grade, maybe the 5th grade. Josh, you went to high school with him, didn't you? Like, I don't know if you had any classes with him. Crazy. He was great. He was a quarterback before, like, the spread had taken over. And so he set all the passing records at our school. And then the next guy who I went to church with came in, and he broke all the pass records up behind him. But anyway, Kevin O'Connell went on to San Diego State. Then he got drafted by the Patriots. Then played for the Jets. Like, he did all that. Had a really good year from Acosta Canyon. Oh, you were a freshman and a senior, but he was a big deal. I mean, he only ended up at San Diego State, which I don't know. I guess I don't have any memories of watching him play football. I just remember watching Clayton play, but anyway, pretty cool. It's my one connection to him. He's back in San Diego all the time. Anyway, I'm taking the Vikings. Taking the Vikings in that one. But remember what I said. Browns Commanders. This is the same situation. Everybody is so high on the Commanders, and that was such a big emotional win. I think because of the Cliff Kingsbury factor. If you told me the Browns somehow just like came in and won this game, I would not be surprised. Now, I'm going to take the Commanders, but because they're at home, I think Cleveland's just a different team at home. So on the road, they play below their standard. But if you told me the Browns won this game, would not be shocked, because this just feels like one of those, like, oh man, here come the Commanders. Could they get the 1 seed? Is it going to be the Vikings and the Commanders as like the 1-2 seed in the NFC? And then just like both teams lose. That happened last year. Last year, the Eagles and 49ers were undefeated, both teams. And it looked like the Niners were just going to steamroll everybody on their way to the Super Bowl. And then both the Eagles and Niners lost to bad teams in the same week 6. The Eagles lost to the Jets and the Niners lost to the Browns. And it was like, oh, okay. Like, this is still the NFL. Teams are still like pretty good. So anyway, that I could see both of those things happening. We'll see though, but I'm taking the Commanders. Ravens, Bengals. I want everything in me. I want to take the Bengals, like, so bad, to redeem like my predictions. No way though. I know they're at home, but you lost the Patriots at home. I have no faith in the Bengals. I no longer think they're making the playoffs. They have too many problems on defense. The offense probably isn't clicking as good as they want, but their bigger issue is on defense, and I just don't believe in them. So I'm taking the Ravens. I don't know if I said that. Ravens, they're going to cover. I think that game could get ugly, honestly. I think Derrick Henry just got another 200-yard game in him. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Bills, Texans. I am not scared of the Bills losing to the Ravens on the road, Sunday Night Football. They're going to got at some point. It didn't look good. That did not look good, but I'm not too scared of them. Excuse me, they didn't scare me away. The Texans, I'm a little worried about. I know they're 3-1, but they had like a wire-to-wire win over the Colts. I don't remember who they beat week 2, but then they got pummeled week 3 against the Vikings. Not even competitive against the Vikings. And then they should have lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was right there to lose. So I'm worried about the Texans. That hype train has basically come. It's slowing, about to come to a complete stop. Bills are favored by 1 on the road. I'm taking the Bills, obviously to cover. I don't think it's going to be a tie. Yes, Shaq Numbs choosing the Ravens. I picked the Ravens. Yeah, Stephon Diggs, locker room cancer or something. I mean, everywhere he goes, he's upset. Usually it's not this fast, though. Usually it's not in the first season, but yeah, it's something's off. Something's off. I haven't watched the Texans game. They beat the Bears week 2, and that game was closer than I thought it should be. They were at home. That was the only Texans game I've seen, but I'm box score watching. But box score tells it all sometimes when you lose 31-10 or whatever they lost to the Vikings, and then you're losing in the fourth quarter of the Jags. Like, that's not good. That is not good. So, yeah. Bills better without him. I agree. The Bills, like, they just are a better team. They get along better and they work better. Smarty Pants 33. I do not know who this is. What up, though, Smarty Pants? I feel like this is Scott's son, Adam, but I could be wrong. But that feels like an Adam move. Also with the cat profile pic, screams Adam all day, but we'll see. What up, whoever you are? What up? Glad you're here. Thank you for supporting. It's not, well, who are you then? It's not even Smarty Pants. It's Smatty Pants 33. Is it Mac? Could be Mac. My brother-in-law, Scott's brother. Oh, it's Jason? Okay. I knew it was someone in the family. Jason, you realize you spelled Smarty wrong. That says Smatty Pants, not Smarty Pants. But love the cat picture. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Looks good. It looks good. Yeah, Jason, stick around. We'll teach you about some football, man. We'll teach you about some football. Here we go. We're gonna keep going. Okay. Panthers, Bears. I'm gonna go the Bears, but I think this is gonna be close. I don't believe in the Bears. I don't have much faith in the Bears. I guess Caleb Williams is looking a little better. He's getting a little better, but I do not. I don't really believe in him. So I think it's going to be close. I want the Panthers to win. Like, I would love to see Andy Dalton just kind of win some games and stick it to everybody. But I think it's going to be the Bears. But I think the Panthers cover. I think this has like 17. I guess 17-14 written all over it. That kind of game. Colts, Jags. I just talked a lot of smack about the Jags. I am taking the Jaguars to win their first game of the season at home. They're even favored by 3. Indianapolis Colts. You are 3-point underdogs to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't care. It's on the road. That's a bad sign. Vegas does not believe in you. That is disrespect. Yeah, I think the Jaguars are going to get their first win. That's what I think. Bo Nix over Caleb Williams. I don't think I'd go that far. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Taking the Jags. First win of the year. Congratulations, Jags. This is a good question. Is AR-15 any good? At no point was he the best QB in college, only potential. He's like the on steroids version of Trey Lance, like very minimal starts, but like his athleticism and big arm, like off the charts, like getting people excited, but very little experience. He's made some unbelievable throws week 1, but they completed like 9 passes. I don't know. The answer is I don't think he's all that great. I don't think he's that good. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think they're better off with Joe Flacco right now. All right. Jags get the first win. Oh, Dolphins, Patriots. What a nightmare. Can they play this game like Friday while I'm at work or something, or Saturday while I'm like doing the lemonade stand with my daughter? This game should be radio only. It should not even be on television. I think the Patriots are going to win. I cannot believe how bad the Dolphins look without Tua. It's their own fault for not taking the quarterback situation seriously, the backup quarterback situation seriously. Not sure why they didn't call and trade for Josh Dobbs, who's quarterback 3 for the Niners right now. He would immediately be better than anybody you've already put out. But I'm going to take the Patriots to cover. Cardinals, Niners. Man, it's hard to like have any kind of confidence or victory lap for the Niners after they beat the Patriots because it's the Patriots. It's good that they looked more on top of things. They were able to put the game away, that kind of stuff. In no way do I think this is the Niners team from last year. Not yet, anyway. They still have too many questions on defense. They're still struggling to get off the field on third down. That being said, the Cardinals have they're going to have like 146 rush yards a game. They have one of the worst, like advanced metrics. One of those stats has their defense ranked like 30th overall in the league. So anyway, I think the Niners are going to get over their red zone woes. They have not been able to score in the red zone, score touchdowns in the red zone so far this year. I think they get over that this week. I do not think the Cardinals have a good defense. And so I think I've been saying this every week, but I think it's a Jordan Mason game. It's going to have 150 plus and 2 touchdowns. I think Brandon Ayuk finally gets in the end zone, gets that off his back. I would take the Niners, and I'm going to take them to cover. At home, I think that I'm going to take them. Zach Wilson drawing some trade interest. I don't know if that makes sense well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. It's just weird. Why would you wait a couple weeks? Like, what's the point for the Dolphins now? What's the point? You're going to lose again. Maybe they want to see if they can beat the Patriots. Dolphins, I don't think you can beat the Patriots. Jalen Phillips was just ruled out for the season today, too. Good defensive lineman. Or is he a linebacker? Anyway, he plays with like one of those edge players. You're not winning that game. The Patriots have a good defense. Their defense is like formidable. It's like average to sometimes it plays above average. Offensively, they're not good, but you guys are not good on either side of the ball. You cannot move the ball. If I was the Dolphins, I literally would put Tyreek Hill at quarterback. That's where I'm at with it. I would put him at quarterback, or at least like 50% of the game would be Wildcat, and it would be him at quarterback. And just go Little League Pop Warner football. Just put your best player at quarterback. Let him touch the ball every single play. They're so bad. They can't move the ball and they can't get any stops. So I expect Ramondre Stevenson to run the ball for 200 yards, 150 yards, and I expect them to win. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game, but yeah. Sorry, I lost my... Oh, Zach Wilson? Yeah, I don't know if that makes much sense. Like, why would the Giants do that? Like, Giants, are you going to trade for... Is Zach Wilson better than Daniel Jones? I don't know. He might be, but what? I guess is he going to take you to the playoffs? Like what? I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense. But whatever. Where were we? Raiders Broncos. Well, I mean, I'm going to go the Broncos. They're at home. I would expect them to cover and win by a field goal. They're at home. Great, very good defense. They got a lot of problems on offense. They got distractions with Devontae Adams. I don't feel great about it, but man, the Broncos could be 3-2 after this week. That'd be incredible. Good for you guys. I don't believe in the Raiders. Never have. They don't have a quarterback. At least the Broncos have like hope for their quarterback. I like the Broncos head coach better, and I like their defense better. So yeah, I'm going the Broncos. Shaq Nums. I don't have much more analysis than that, but any truth? I don't know. I think this is my father-in-law. Sometimes Scott hops on, Scott Jr. But any truth to the feud between Jerry Jones and McCarthy after their meeting today? I have not seen that. But that would be a weird time for them to have a feud and be mad after they beat the Giants and like they're getting ready for this game. But I haven't heard. I don't know. Let me see. Let me hop on the old ESPN, see if there's anything. I don't see anything. I don't know. But it makes sounds on par. Sounds like Jerry Jones would be mad at McCarthy kind of thing. Is he mad they only won by 5 against the Giants? Maybe. Is McCarthy mad that Jerry won't trade for Devontae Adams? I don't know. That could be a reason too. Who knows? It feels like McCarthy's destined to be gone. I was talking to Scott Jr. earlier today about it. Like McCarthy has won 3 straight seasons of 12 wins. I think the Cowboys could still like limp into the playoffs this year at like 10-7. But man, do they look lifeless. That's concerning. They're playing like uninspired football. They're definitely not playing with as much juice as last year, as much intensity. Like it feels like they're limping along. So I think McCarthy's gone. I don't care. I don't care. I think he's gone. after the year, unless things really go off the rails and they just go 2-9 down the stretch. Like I think McCarthy's going to at least make it through the year and then be fired afterwards. Let's see. We're getting to it. Giants Seahawks, man. I really hate that the Giants get to go to the Seahawks the week before the Niners play the Seahawks. Here's what I'll say though. Okay. 6.5 is a pretty big spread. The Giants, it looks like the Giants aren't even going to have Malik Neighbors, which sucks, man. He has been so good. The one hope that the Giants have to beat the Seahawks would be Malik Neighbors, like going off. They're not beating the Seahawks without Malik Neighbors. I can't imagine it. But everything I'm seeing says it looks like he's going to be out. So someone hit me up if I'm wrong. Like correct me. But here's what I'll say. The Giants have 10 days rest. They have the rest advantage. It's even more because the Seahawks had to play on Monday Night Football. Now, here's the Seahawks were on the road Monday Night Football, so short week. Yeah, he's out. It sucks, man. That freaking sucks. Just terrible. It was a grueling game. A lot of offense, high emotion, like probably like a very exhausting game. They ran a ton of plays in that Seahawks Lions game. The Giants are not going to win, but this game is going to be closer than Seahawks fans want it to be because of that, the rest advantage, disadvantage, whatever you want to call it, plus the type of game they just played in Detroit. I think it's going to be closer than you think. They'll probably, I think they'll cover the spread, but I just mean like second half, like this game to me, halftime could be like 10-7 halftime. And then fourth quarter, they score a couple touchdowns and win the game, whatever, 24-10, or 24-7, something like that. But it's going to be closer. I do not expect the Seahawks best this week because it's a short week and they were on the road. They had to travel back, so they didn't even get home till like Tuesday early morning. And the Giants have that rest advantage. So that's what I think. I think they're going to win. They'll probably cover, but I think you'll look and all 49er fans will jump to the TV. Second half, it's going to be like a one-score game, and we're all like, oh, could they really pull it off? And then you'll remember, oh, they don't have Malik Neighbors. So no, the answer is no, they cannot pull it off. And then that sets up a 49ers Seahawks next Thursday night. Winner gets the lead for the division. It's going to be great. Rams, Packers. I don't know what to make of the Packers. I do not know what to make of the Packers because I think they're very overrated, especially on defense. I think Jordan Love has as many highlight plays as he does like not top 10 plays. Thrown a lot of interceptions. I know like in 2 games now, I think he's thrown 4 interceptions in 2 games he's played. He threw 3 last week. I don't think I'm going to take the Rams. I think I'm going to pick the Packers, but this is the kind of game. Rams at home after a disappointing loss to the Bears, even though they weren't favored in that game, after they beat the 49ers, they were like, hey, we beat the 49ers, we can beat the Bears on the road, and then they lose. Like, if you told me the Rams came guns a-blazing at home against a Packers team that, like, what are they? They can't stop anybody on defense. I don't know. I'm going to take the Rams. Excuse me, Shacknums. I'm going to take the Packers. But this is another, put a little star by it to like, hey, I'm gonna keep an eye on this game because we get in the second half and it's a tie game. Like I would take McVay and Stafford over Jordan Love and LaFleur. Even Jordan Love and LaFleur are good. LaFleur's really good. Jordan Love, I'm still, I'm trying to. The jury's still out on Jordan Love, but I know what McVay is. I know what Stafford is. I know that after a loss, you're going to get their best the following week, just like they gave the Niners their best after getting embarrassed by the Cardinals. So that's going to be it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a sneaky good game on Sunday. All right, we're getting to the last 2 games here. Here we go. Cowboys Steelers. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans. This is a great Sunday night game. I'm big in the like aesthetic of it all. So like uniform aesthetics like make a difference to me whether I want to watch a game or not. I know that's stupid, but it's how I've always been. This is one of the best uniform matchups in NFL history. It always has been. They've met in the Super Bowl a couple times. Go look up pictures of that 90s Super Bowl where the Cowboys beat the Steelers. Just look at pictures of that field, the uniform matchups. It's just Hall of Fame. It's so good. It looks so good. And so for that reason, I'm excited for it. It's also the reason why I like cold weather football. It's why I love games in Green Bay in November and December, because on TV it just looks cold, and that's football, and it just looks good on my TV, and I enjoy watching it. So anyway, Dallas, Pittsburgh. I love that it's a Sunday night game. I sorry, Dallas. Sorry. I don't see you winning this game. I think Pittsburgh has too good of a defense. Now they got exposed a little bit against Indianapolis, but I expect them to refocus, and they're at home, and I expect them to get it done. Now the good news is I don't think they're very good on offense. Your biggest worry should be Justin Fields running for 150 yards, just scrambling, read option, whatever. Guys' run defense has struggled, but I think Pittsburgh's going to win it. I think that game has. Scott told me earlier today he thinks Pittsburgh's going to win 20-10. That feels about right, like 20-13, maybe even a 20-17. Like you guys might gut it out at near the end, but I think a low-scoring game, going to be a lot of defense. Cowboys, man, you guys are just hurt. So many people out on defense, D-Law and Micah. Like, man, I just can't. And Brandon Cooks has like a knee infection, like not even an injury, just like got a staph infection in his knee or something. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to see them when I think Dallas drops this one. We need a Seth Floyd fantasy segment. Yeah, maybe like on the live show, you mean? Either Q&A or advice or just covering your own team. You mean like on the live show? We could do that sometime. I want to prepare a little more for that if I'm going to do that. I mean, if you have fantasy questions, I'll always answer them. I'm not the best fantasy player there's ever been, but I've been playing for a long time, and I'm in the know. I know what's good and what's bad, but it doesn't mean my teams always win because they don't very often. Last game, Saints Chiefs. Is this a spot where the Saints could just get the Chiefs after Rashee Rice like hurting his knee? It's possible. Like the Saints have a good defense. So if you told me that the Saints just like come in and just do it, and the Chiefs just haven't figured out how to play without absolutely any receivers yet, like I could buy into it. But I'm not going to bet against the Chiefs until they actually lose. So I'm taking the Chiefs. But I've got like 4 asterisk games this week where it's like, if you told me so and so team won, I wouldn't be surprised, and that's what I'm doing here because you just don't know. Like that's a tough thing to overcome. The Chiefs are still going to be there in the end. Very likely could be in the Super Bowl, but we know regular season Chiefs, like they lost 6 games last year in the regular season, so they're not going to go undefeated. And with all these injuries, like they're going to lose a game or two. So, but I mean, until I see it, like I'm going to go Chiefs in this Monday night. Mahomes in the bright lights, like he just is what he is unfair is what he is. So, yeah. That's where I'm at. Shaq Nums, you got all those games. Did you miss any? You want me to go back with any of them? I think this is the yearly weird game for KC that they randomly drop. Yeah, like 100% could be. And that, like, look, but the things I don't believe in with the Saints are Derek Carr and Dennis Allen, and Dennis Allen is the head coach. But defensively, like they have dudes on defense. So I don't know, but I think just the Saints didn't look good. The last 2 weeks haven't looked good. They haven't looked good. So it's hard for me to pick them on the road. But they haven't looked good again. They didn't look good against the Eagles, and they didn't look good against last week against the Falcons. So it's just hard. Last year they lost to a head coachless team on Christmas, dropping into the Raiders. Yeah. They always have weird division games for sure. It feels like they always drop a weird one that they shouldn't. Like they lost the year before, like lost to the Broncos and Russell Wilson. So like weird stuff happens like that all the time. But I don't know. I just don't see it because I think the Saints are coming back to earth. Man, after feeling like one of the best teams in the league, I'm predicting them to lose 3 in a row now and be 2-3. And now the sky's falling if you are a Saints fan for sure. That's how you're gonna feel. So anyway, those are my picks. Anybody got any last words? Any last questions? That's what I got for you. That's what I think. Hopefully I can keep it going. I went 11-5 last week. Hopefully I repeat that this week and keep climbing. But yeah, I think we're starting to figure out what some of these teams are. Now that the off-season hype is kind of normalized and tempered down, and we realize there's always the surprise teams. When the Vikings, man, they're that surprise team. The Bengals are the surprise team in the opposite way. So we're starting to figure it out. I got some more videos this week. I'm sticking 49ers. I'm going to talk 49ers preview and some other stuff tomorrow. Okay, so that video will come out sometime tomorrow or Friday. And then I'll do a reaction video. If there's maybe I should do NFL big reaction video, maybe I'll do that. I've been doing 49ers reaction video because that's just like what I know and what I watch. But if there's anything else big, like I'll react to it on Sunday right after the 49er game. But yeah, that's what I got. You guys are awesome. We steady had like 5 to 7 people on the stream the whole time. Like freaking awesome. I love that. Thank you for tuning in, even if you didn't comment, like whatever. Appreciate you clicking and being a part of it. Shaq Nums, you are the man. Josh, Scott Senior, Jason. Thank you everybody who tuned in and participated. And you guys are awesome. Appreciate it. If there's any other suggestions you have, things you want to see, like I'm a man of the people. I just want to make you guys happy. So let me know. Let me know what you guys want. And yeah, look for more of my videos. Till next week. That's right. You guys enjoy football this weekend. I'm out.